My name is Kristen Matthews from Tiny Footsteps Travel, and I'm going to share with you some of the amazing things that we did as a family in the Florida Keys. One thing that you and your kids will both love about the Keys is that there's wildlife everywhere. We saw lizards, wild deer, and even wild chickens. All of the islands in the Florida Keys are different, but regardless of where you stay in the Keys, it's not too hard to travel to other islands, and you can easily do this via the Overseas Highway, which runs from mainland Florida all the way to Key West. I personally didn't want to stay right in Key West, but I was very glad that we visited as a family. One thing we wanted to make sure we did while we were in Key West was visit the bookstore of Judy Blume called Books and Books. So if you have older kids, this might be something they might be interested in. I'd highly recommend a visit to the Butterfly Conservatory in Key West. We've been to lots of butterfly conservatories in the past, but this was truly one of the most beautiful ones we'd ever seen. Right around the corner from the Butterfly Conservatory, you'll find the U.S. Southernmost Point, which is a very popular spot for family photos. The only thing I would warn you is just be prepared that sometimes there's a bit of a lineup to get your photo taken. If you have a minimum of, I'd say, 4 to 5 days in the Florida Keys, I'd consider going over to Dry Tortugas National Park. This wasn't something that we had the time to do on this trip, but I would absolutely love to do a different time. One of the highlights of our trip to the Florida Keys with kids was definitely visiting the Turtle Hospital located in Marathon. They care for sick and injured sea turtles from the wild, and they re-release them back once they are better. But they also have several long-term residents or permanent residents that can't be re-released into the wild. While it was sad and heartbreaking to see how these creatures have been impacted by humans, it was also so inspiring to see all the good work that this hospital is doing for the sea turtles and for the environment. So I would definitely recommend supporting them. Our kids had a great time, and my 3-year-old really enjoyed feeding the turtles at the end, especially.
He says thank you.
Another place we were really happy to be supporting and introducing to our kids was the Laura Quinn Wild Bird Sanctuary. They do a lot of good work with sick and injured birds, similar to the Turtle Hospital, but with birds. They also re-release birds into the wild. There were actually 2 bird sanctuaries in the Florida Keys from what I could tell, but the Laura Quinn Bird Sanctuary is just outside of Key Largo. The experience of visiting there was really nice as a family because it was well shaded. It took under an hour to see the whole bird sanctuary, and then afterwards we went over to the Rehabilitation Center, which has a small museum and a gift shop. One place in the Florida Keys that I'm almost certain my kids will remember for a long, long time is Aquarium Encounters, which is located in Marathon. So it has several aquariums inside where you can view fish and other sea life, but there's also lots of feeding opportunities as well, hence the name Encounters. The feedings generally cost extra, so you could just visit as a general admission and just view the animals, but if you pay a bit extra, then you can feed the animals as well. If you have kids that are old enough, I would definitely recommend getting out on a snorkel or a scuba diving tour. I believe the ages for snorkeling is about 5 years old, and for scuba it would be 10, plus they need to have some sort of certification for scuba. We went out on a snorkel tour with Captain Hook's dive center in Marathon, and we had a really good experience with them. Another highlight on our trip to the Keys was the Dolphin Discovery Center in Marathon. It's an education center where you can learn about dolphins, and they also have amazing grounds to walk around that other wildlife inhabit as well. At the Dolphin Discovery Center, there are presentations scheduled throughout the day where they introduce you to their dolphins and teach you a little bit about the dolphins. The dolphins do a few tricks, but it is more, we found it more educational as opposed to being a show that you would see at SeaWorld, for example. The Dolphin Discovery Center offers add-ons where you can meet a dolphin or swim with dolphins, and this isn't normally something that I like to support at all. However, my 12-year-old daughter really wanted to try it, and I do believe, having visited the Dolphin Discovery Center, that it is one of the better places to meet or swim with dolphins if that is something that you want to do. I hope this has filled you with inspiration of all the amazing things that there are to do in the Keys with kids. We were really glad that we made time for it. It's a beautiful place, and I have no doubt that you're going to have an amazing family vacation there.